Alright guys, it's time to choose our testing location for this project. So the most important part about this project is that we need a smooth, flat surface to test on. If you don't have a smooth and flat surface, the chances of your car having way too much friction to move forward go up a whole lot. So you can see the floor that we have here is just a smooth linoleum tile floor. It's got a couple bumps here and there, but it's pretty dang good. And so I need a spot where I have 10 feet of space continuous where my car can travel. And it's even more ideal if you have at least 5 or 6 to even maybe 10 feet wide as well, because let's be honest, our car might not travel completely straight from one end to the other. And so what I'm going to do, and you can see I've already done so, but first thing I'm going to do is find a good spot for a starting line. And so I'm going to place my starting line down in a nice straight line. In my case, I actually used the line of the tile to make my line nice and straight because it gives me a good idea of where to start. And then, take a tape measure and go ahead and extend that out. And I can go ahead and just extend this out until I reach 10 feet here and lock that in place. And I want to make sure that I'm going in a straight line. I don't want to be crooked, so I don't want to be going off this direction or off this direction. So one thing that I like to do is I can use the other end of my tile or my hardwood floor or the wall of my house to make sure I'm going straight down. Make sure that I'm at 10 feet, which I am. And then I'm going to go ahead and place another tape line as straight as possible so that it's parallel to my first tape line. And you can see I didn't use an itty bitty little piece of tape here. I used about 3 or 4 feet. That way, hopefully, my car crosses this line and it crosses this line without veering off too far. Now it might veer a little bit and you might have to kind of guess when it crosses, but it's a lot easier when you have a good solid tape line to start out with. Alright guys, so my next step is going to be to prepare for testing. What I'm going to do is before I set this down, I need to prepare my propulsion device. I'm not going to interfere with it once I set it down. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and wind up my propulsion device. You might be blowing up a balloon. You might be setting your mousetrap. Depends on what your propulsion device is. But I'm just going to wind this up as much as I think necessary, or blow up my balloon, set my mousetrap, get my string ready, whatever your device may be. Once I'm ready, I'm going to go ahead and set this down. I could also adjust my axles a little bit to make sure that they're all straight. And I want to get it so that it's just behind the start line. Once it's just behind the start line, I'm going to let my camera guy and my timer guy let them know I'm ready. Say, hey, go ahead and start the camera. And then once they say the camera's ready, I'll go ahead and say, okay, ready, 3, 2, 1, go. And I'll let go without pushing or interfering with it. And it will take off. Now, our hope is that it goes in a straight line. But as we talked about before, that's why we put a nice wide 10-foot line there, because I can still get an idea of when it crossed that 10-foot line, even though it went a little bit crooked. We're going to repeat that process 3 times, we're going to film 3 times, and we're going to time 3 times so that we can get some averages and we can get the best video of our car as possible. Alright guys, so one of the most important parts of this is that you are not going to be able to do all the things that need to happen during testing by yourself. So this is going to be at least a 2-person job, maybe even a 3-person job if you have an extra hand around. But for my case, Mr. Bolt here is going to be doing 2 things for me. He's going to be timing. He's got a stopwatch there, but you might be using a cell phone or a timer. And then he's also going to be filming each one for me using his camera so that we can get the best take for the flip grid that we'll be doing a little bit later on. So he's going to go ahead and start this camera first, and then when I let go of the device, he'll start the stopwatch, and then he'll end the stopwatch when it crosses the end line, and then he'll worry about the camera. So it can be kind of a juggling act when you have two people, even still, but there's no way that you can release your device and film and time each one. So you're going to need two people. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.